Hey dreamers, and welcome back to a new video. This is an exciting one for me. In this video I'll show you step by step how I created one of the world's most magical places in Dreams. Salar De Uyuni, the Bolivia Salt Flat, also known as the world's biggest mirror. The Uyuni Salt Flat is the largest salt flat on Earth, and after a rain it can become the world's largest mirror with a spanning over 130 kilometers. It also happens to be the inspiration for the final world from Kingdom Hearts 3, which I'm in love with, and yeah, it's one of my dream places to go one day. But how come that I created it in Dreams? This has been an amazing opportunity for me. It was part of a freelance job that I did officially for Fearless Soul. Fearless Soul is huge for motivational speeches, spiritual teachings, inspirational songs and more. It's pretty much a huge mental health and life improvement channel that was eye-opening to me when I was in a very dark place. Their videos helped me so much, and it's just an honor to now have created visuals for a song cover by their amazing artist called Savella. When I was listening to the song Homesick and should come up with ideas, I very quickly thought about this place. It captures the feeling of the song perfectly, and even the lyrics match the visuals so well. After they agreed to the idea, I was excited to start my work on it. So now I would like to take you through my thought and creation process about bringing a world like this to life with Dreams. Hope you enjoy. Before I even started creating in the scene, I looked up a bunch of videos and reference material because I really wanted to capture this amazing place as well as I could. All its looks, the clouds, the hexagon-like ground and beach of the salt flat, but especially of course the reflections and the atmosphere. So here are a few images that I found really inspiring and constantly looked at it while creating this. So I decided to start with a very detailed ground piece of these amazing hexagon-like patterns, and I knew it had to be very flat to work well with the mirror later. And I also wanted to make it look very detailed and realistic, which is why I started with my technique that you might have recently seen in my realistic texture tutorial. I then kind of just cut it into shape and made little adjustments, and after I had the basic shape done, I started drawing the pattern individually by using the curve tool with surface snap activated. This wasn't easy to make it look well, and I had my doubts in the beginning, but it worked out quite well. I then also adjusted the color, flex and finish, and added some secondary color glow to it, which supported the texture as well. Next, I went for even more detail by, you could say, almost shading the pattern. I outlined the white line with a darker color, again by drawing the curve tool, but this time in the subtract mode. I think this gave it a lot more depth and really supported the general looks of it. After I finished the main ground piece and cloned it around, I also added one huge flag which would later become my water surface and the mirror. I adjusted the settings to low opacity, tried around with the finish, and added a lower sun angle to have it reflect the light on the water as well.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is it this for real or not?
I then quickly realized it would be very hard to build the whole ground with just this asset, or at least to make it look natural and smooth. So I decided to take the asset, clone it, and delete a few parts and make two different versions that could support the look of the transparent water surface later on, but also help to merge my main assets in a natural way. Then I wanted to smooth it out even a little more while also adding shimmering puddles by drawing over the parts that looked still a bit unnatural to me. For this I used the splash flag with surface snap activated. I also did draw a few of them on the water surface to indicate a little bit of the land that is, still transitioning into the full reflection of the water. Then adjusting the settings of the color, lowering the opacity, adding shininess and waxiness completed the looks I wanted to achieve for it. To give the reflection a very convincing look, I obviously needed elements that I can mirror, and to also add a layer of distance and depth, I started to create a piece of land that I would just very roughly block out to put in the far distance. For this I was also very inspired by the reference pictures where you would often see this as well. I started making a beach and then also added a mountain-like landscape by blend stamping and subtracting with the hexagon shape. After I was done, I placed it in the distance and cloned it upside down with the grid tool activated. For this you very accurately need to have your water surface exactly between the two copies. When I looked at it though, I figured something was missing. And then I saw the beautiful color of a bigger piece of beach in one of the references. So I decided to make a really thin, big piece that should have a beautiful color and make the land more clear. And it was actually just perfect to also extend my main area further by also adding more of the ground, putting a little bit within the sand, smoothly merging all of this together. It was then time to make some clouds. I knew from the beginning that I wanted to create a mix of 2D and 3D clouds. Both have very different advantages that I wanted to have both within the scene. I also recently made a tutorial on 3 different techniques on how all of you can easily make clouds. Feel free to check that out as well. Anyways, with the 3D clouds I wanted to achieve a very detailed fluffy look that I would cover most of the horizon with. So I made 3 different versions and adjusted the finishes to my liking. For the clouds, the real magic comes to life when using spotlights on them. Here I tried around with different images, colors and brightness. I then also cloned my group of clouds upside down under the water surface to create the reflection again. Now you can see how I made some changes to the grade and effects gadget, as well as a completely different atmosphere and lighting that I tried around with using text displayer gradients. I think this also had a lot of potential, but talking with the client we decided to go with the bluish tone. With the 2D clouds that I drew with the splash flag, I wanted to smooth out the rest of the clouds as well as create a nice transition to the sky. 2D clouds just also have that opacity setting advantage, which definitely came in handy for that. Now you will also see me play around with the spotlights, add some more, adjust the lighting and composition, as well as change little details. I also animated the clouds with keyframes, so they are moving from right to left within the scene. Sadly, I lost the footage on how I created the character, but here's a quick look on it. The main goal was to create a nice looking silhouette of a character that just enjoys walking around this place, and again, of course, to also support the reflection on the water later. I think it also looks really cool how you can see that the water is going until her knuckles on that beach, and later when the song says walking on water, she actually also steps on the water within the scene. Those are just some nice little details that I brought in. And yeah, that's about it on how I created the Uyuni Salt Flat as visuals for my freelance work with Fearless Soul. Please make sure to watch the actual music video, of course, as well. It's a beautiful song, Savella has an amazing voice. And yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, some feedback, and make sure to share it with others. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video.